I seen a lot and I've been through a lot. And it made me, I wouldn't change any of it because it made me who I am. In order to be in this business that I am, you have to be social. So I'm gonna say hello to everybody I walk past on the streets. If it's in the morning time, good morning, how you doing? Something like, all right, have a nice day. What's up, how you doing? That represent the core values that I believed in. Like people with integrity, people that come from nothing and make something of themselves, people that never give up, people that is self-disciplined and come from hopeless, environments, and they never let that deter them. They get knocked down and get back up. I'm really more of like a life coach. So, the relationships that I've developed with my clients is like unreal from a business standpoint. Like, I can see these guys, my friends, I can see these women, my sisters, and we just got a beautiful relationship. We hang and we talk inside and outside the gym. I know their mothers, I know their dogs, I know their children, and it's all one big family. I'm the first person in my entire family to be a success at anything in life, and that I am proud of. My mom and my father was on drugs, so my aunt, my mom's sister, raised me and about maybe 9 of my mom's 11 children. As early as 5 years old, I was exposed to a lot of different things. I got a memory of my oldest brother, Pud, sitting me in his lap and let me drive around the city. I got other memories when him and his friends is in the house and counting money, and I just see all these bunch of guns and drugs. And so I was exposed to that stuff even before I even knew what it was. The police ran in the house and arrested him for a murder. So it was a routine of mine. When he leave his room, I used to go in there, take socks, take pennies, quarters, and stuff in my pockets. I was real young. This is 2 years before his death. And I'm looking under the bed, I see a gun. So this time I just grabbed the gun. I seen some of the stuff, this is crazy. I seen him get shot right in front of my face when I was 6. But you have to remember that's the environment that I grew up in. I got locked up for a host of crimes. Robbery, burglary, kidnapping, attempted murder, assault, just everything short of rape and murder. So a good friend of mine's name is Taj. We was locked up together, we were cellmates. Taj is maybe 5 years older than me. And he was a guy who grew up in the streets. And he was a guy who made his money at that time in unlawful ways. But he never encouraged me to go home and do anything that would ever get me locked back up. So he started working on me. What you want to do when you go home? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, one day we came to me, I was sitting in the yard, he was like, yo, why you ain't get your GED yet? I'm like, man, I don't need no GED. Turned into a whole argument. But that conversation led to me getting my GED. I want you to write out a list of goals. What you want to do is just, so how am I gonna find out what I want to do myself? I don't know. I'll figure it out when I get there. And he was like, tell me how you can make $1,000 without working a traditional 9 to 5 and without doing nothing illegal or breaking the law. He gave me a piece of paper and a pen. That piece of paper was empty for a month. He then told me goals come from your passions, your talents. What you passionate about, what you talented about, right? Boxing or fighting always been a part of my life since I was young. My older brothers used to team up and create like boxing matches between me and my younger brother. So first one in prison when I was 16, I was fighting. I would say I fought over 100 times. And then one day, this guy, Lou Brown, I had just came out the hole from fighting. He was like, man, why you always fighting, man? You should let me train you. And I'm like, what? I'm like, get out of there, man. And he's like, no, seriously. So I talked to Taj, told Taj, like, hey, this guy, and he's like, do it, what's wrong with it? So I started training, and I set that as a goal. When I come home, I want to be a boxer. I had already lost my grandfather, my best friend, my first cousin, you know, and a whole host of friends. And my brother started getting murdered. And I'm like, I need to go home. I started resenting being in prison. And I used to say to myself, you know, I'm the reason that I'm not able to go to my brother's funeral. Because if I never did what I did, I would never be in this place, in this situation. And maybe if I wasn't in this situation, maybe I could have been with him that night. Maybe I could have, you know, said something to him that make him stay in the house. You know, I played different scenarios in my head, but you know, that made me want to change. It made me hate prison. And when I came home, I continued with my first goal, pursuing the sport of boxing. I was at Mary Anderson Boxing Gym. Candyman was training me. He took me down to Johan, which I was reluctant to go down there at first because I'm from South Philly. I'm staying in South Philly, very geographical, you know, still in that type of mindset. But when I went down there, I ran into Bernard Hopkins. I approached him like, yo, what's up? You know, my name Maleek. I just came home. I want to be a fighter. So we started talking. You know, I don't know, he's like, where you was at when I was at Greatest for it? He's like, oh yeah, you know, such and such there. I'm like, yeah, I know him. Oh, such and such there. So it turned into a whole different conversation. After that, he paid Danny to train me.
I saw the potential in him, not as a fighter. So I said, look, you could work with me. I could show you how to train people, you know, teach you my program. I just seen the determination, I seen the drive, I seen the hunger, I seen the sincereness in Maleek. You know, I didn't see like, you know, but this guy, man, just getting out of jail, man, he's a slickster. I didn't see that in him. I seen a guy that had changed his life, went to prison at 16, did 10 years. So if anybody seen his progress, I seen from day one to where he at now. When people tell me to speak to the young guys and this, nah, I prefer him because he been there, he done it, you know. He can really explain to these young guys.
Integrity, hard work, commitment, discipline, not giving up, going against the odds, getting ran over and still getting back up. Who I was yesterday don't mean who I have to be tomorrow. And that's the thing about growth. That's what's beautiful about it.
A lot of people expect you to be at this position. They expect you to be right back in prison, man, like a couple years ago. And on top of that, you wrote a book.
Did I know I was going to get to this point? Yeah, and I say that in the most humblest way. Did I know I was going to get to this point this fast? I didn't. But that's the thing with determination. It's not about where you come from, how you grew up. None of that don't matter. Don't matter that I'm black. Don't matter that you white. Don't matter that you Asian. None of that matters. Don't matter what language we speak, what land we come from, and how we was brought up. You come from money or you come from poverty, that don't matter. Only thing that matters is how you treat the next person. And become a better person and try to better the world. That's all that matters.